Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. A big thank you to each and every one of you for your continued support. My mood today is not so good because today I covered a very terrifying story which has since disturbed me psychologically. I covered a very painful story today which has really affected me. As a parent, I'm really affected. There is a story whereby a 3-year-old boy in Kisii County, Marani, his eyes were removed, totally removed, and was rendered blind the rest of his life. Kijana wa miaka mitatu, macho yake yaling'olewa na mtu bado hajajulikana, akatupwa ndani ya mahindi. Macho imetolewa, they just I don't know if they used a knife or what. Yani macho ilikuwa imetolewa yote. Luckily enough, the boy was alive. So that story, as a parent, as a young parent, it has really disturbed my mind since morning. And I feel weak and disturbed. But then, God will judge them. God will judge them. Kwa wale ambao mnaelewa lugha ya Kisii, enda YouTube, tafuta channel inaitwa Bosongo Vibes. Vibes ni V-I-B for boy, E-S, Vibes. You will get that story there. I did it in our local language. It's really sad. It's really sad, but then we leave it all to God. Back to the Kenyan politics, ladies and gentlemen. So you are used to me shouting, but today I'm disturbed. But then I forced myself to do this video because of some things that are happening in this country which are not so good to us. The freedom that Kenya Kwanza was singing is the kind of freedom that no Kenyan could understand by that time. You were being told during campaigns that freedom is coming, but you could not comprehend and understand the kind of freedom these guys were talking about. No UDA voter had an idea. There's no Kenya Kwanza supporter who had an idea of what the freedom was all about. Kenyans thought it's the freedom of lowering the cost of living. But the wapi. So today, Kenya Power had their general meeting, and something has happened which is very unique to us, which I want us to understand the kind of freedom these people were talking about during the campaigns. It's a kind of freedom that is benefiting them without even thinking the welfare of the common citizen. Immediately William Ruto was sworn in, you saw news on media that Ndindi Nyoro has doubled his shares in Kenya Power. A few days later, followed by the increase in the purchase of tokens. Electricity has gone up, I think 4 times or 5 times since the Kenya Kwanza took over power. The kind of freedom they were talking about is to fill their pockets by milking innocent, poor citizens. You pay high costs when purchasing tokens, but the same people who vote to defend you, the money is going into their pockets. So, gentlemen, Kenya Power have done the elections. And so many people were defending their seats who were not affiliated to the Kenya Kwanza government, were all of them swept and kicked out. Why? Because freedom is indeed here with us. By the end of this video, I want to make you understand the kind of freedom that Kenya Kwanza was singing of. So the shareholders held the elections, and so many people were massively butchered from their seats. They did what we call a complicated surgery to the company. Walifanyia upasuaji. And I want to give you shocking details, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give you shocking details so that you can open your eyes, you can open your ears, you can open your mind and get to understand how politicians are using you as a voter to enrich themselves. It's high time as Kenyans. I've tried my best to synthesize my followers on making the right political choices. 2027 is not far from us. As a citizen of this republic, as a voter, as an electorate, you have the power to make the right decision so that we can move our country forward economically. You know, the former director was defending his seat, was kicked out. And it's like President William Ruto's allies have invaded Kenya power. They are taking over shares like no one's business. They have eaten deep into Kenya power. They are inside. They are in the bedroom. Speaking from the bedroom. A number of them. This is the kind of freedom they were singing about. When you thought they were singing about lowering the cost of fuel, when you thought the freedom they were singing is lowering the cost of unga, you had no idea on what they were singing. You had no idea. It's now dawning to us the kind of freedom they were talking about. The kind of freedom is to kill any case in court that touches a Kenya Kwanza politician. The second freedom is to freely invade parastatus and make investments through buying of shares. So, those people who read news and those of you who follow what is happening in this country, you've heard the name Veska Kangogo. If you are a man who follows news, I hope you've come across that name. Veska Kangogo is a former CC member in Nairobi County government. And you know, if you live in this country or if you follow siasa, Veska Kangogo is one of the candidates who unsuccessfully ran for Uasin Gishu gubernatorial race under the UDA ticket. Kangogo was a candidate in the Uasin Gishu gubernatorial election, but he lost. after losing, he has now been rewarded as the director, Kenya Power and Lighting Company. He's a close ally to William Ruto. This is not a secret. It's something that is in the public domain. In that position, we have Vien. I don't know if it's Vene. I saw Ven Yuda was defending the position but was kicked out and replaced by Kangogo. That is William Ruto's inner person. Inside bedroom. Amekaa kwa kitanda anapumua pole pole tu akiendesha udirector wake in Kenya Power. Now, among other people who were elected, Kangogo garnered 980k votes, and among the other people who were elected alongside them are Brenda Masinde, Logan Hambrick, Albert Mugo, and Duncan Ojwang. If you followed the petition in court, if you are very very keen, kwa wale watu mlifuatilia kesi between Raila Odinga's petition and William Ruto, kwa wale ambao mlikuwa keen, because I was streaming on this very very platform, you saw this man, Duncan Ojwang. He is a flamboyant city lawyer who was a key player in the Supreme Court during the petition hearing of President William Ruto's election. He was a key player. And if you were very keen on the screens, you came across that name, Duncan Ojwang. He has also been rewarded. He has been elected. Among other people who have been given key positions, and all of them affiliated to, directly affiliated to, I don't want to say Kenya Kwanza, but they are directly affiliated to President William Samoei Ruto. Yes. And that is where Kenya is. So, if at all there was freedom that these people wanted, this is the kind of freedom they were talking about. When they were singing on top of vehicles, as a voter, you had no idea. When they were singing on national televisions about the coming freedom, as a common mwananchi back in the village, you had zero idea. But I can confirm that truly the kind of freedom they were talking about is the kind of freedom I have highlighted for you here. Freedom ya kunyakua viti, freedom ya kutolewa mashtaka, freedom ya kufanya mambo mengi katika serikali bila kuulizwa. The electricity tokens are rising each and every time. If there are some things that are expensive in Kenya, electricity is one of them. Now you know, electricity has become like a basic need that you must have in this life. In this era of machines and fast growing technology, you need electricity for survival. But then do you know what? The people who are eating you to the core are your colleague hustlers, who you think they are hustlers, but in real sense, they are pretending to swallow you alive, to bury you alive, and to skin you naked. Ladies and gentlemen, Mimi sina mengi. God bless you. Asanteni sana.